What's up, guys? Today we got the official review, my official review for Warhammer Space Marine 2 and why I think it just might be my game of the year so far. Starting off, I was not too familiar with the lore, I'll be honest. On Warhammer, I know that it runs deep and has actually been around for a long time. I just never got into it like that, and I don't really know why, because it seems like my kind of vibe. Going to war with aliens is like up my alley, so I don't know why I'm just getting on board here, but boy am I glad I did, because this game is fire. It delivers on all fronts for me and met my expectations. Now, I might sound like a nerd here, but one thing that I have to give the developers credit for is we finally get a complete experience in a game. And what I mean by that is we get a campaign, a separate co-op PvE mode called Operations, and a PvP mode called Eternal War. All at launch. I know, it's crazy, right? Too many games these days are launching half-assed, missing game modes that should have been available at launch, or just not having other game modes at all. You could tell a lot of the games these days, they lack passion and are more so concerned about how much money they can milk from their players. But with Space Marine 2, I feel like passion is there. You could tell how they went out their way to make you feel like a badass Space Marine and said, hey, killing aliens and heretics is fun and all, but let's go the extra mile and add some PvP too. They delivered on both sides of PvE and PvP, and I appreciate them for that. The campaign is dope. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just touch on it briefly, but loading up and seeing that first cutscene and how it transitioned into the gameplay was fire. I play on Xbox Series X, and the graphics are great. There's a quality mode and a speed mode, which I believe is for better frames, so I went with that, and it looks pretty smooth to me. The storytelling is solid, and depending on what difficulty you choose, the missions can be a challenge. I also appreciate the variety of enemies you'll encounter as you progress through the story as well. Some wild stuff, but I believe there is co-op for the campaign as well, so that's always cool to have. Speaking of co-op, that brings us to the other PvE mode called Operations. This is more on the end game content side of things, but you don't have to wait to dive in. If you want to spark up Operations from the jump, you can do that. Although it does recommend you complete the campaign first, or at least progress through some of it for spoiler purposes. Either way, it's completely up to you though. Operations offers its own leveling system for each class, separate from PvP. There's 6 operations total, and if I had to compare them to something, it would be like a Nightfall Strike in Destiny. And if you still don't know what that is, it's pretty much like a longer mission with some challenges or objectives along the way, with some type of boss fight or tough wave at the end. It's really fun though. After completing an operation, you get some XP for whatever class you picked, along with some weapon XP as well, for whatever weapons you used. You can use your rewards to unlock higher tier variations of your weapons that will deal more damage or have a higher rate of fire, for example. And because some classes use the same weapons, those variations, once unlocked, can be equipped on those other classes as well. You can also choose a higher level difficulty for more of a challenge if you feel like you're Himothy. But beware, it ain't no joke, and it can get pretty hectic. I do think the higher difficulty, the more XP, but there's recommended levels for each one, so just be aware of that. Moving to PvP, I have been on demon time in PvP. It's just fun, man. It could be competitive, but it's not like overly competitive. It's mostly just run around with your team until you run into the other team, and y'all just have yourselves a nice little team fight, pretty much. Team fighting is essential. But, you know, gotta watch out for the occasional flanks, the jetpack dudes that be slamming down on you out of nowhere. But aside from that, man, it's just fun. I had some server issues at Jump, but since then it seems like they've ironed it out. It's running a lot better now. On top of all of that, what I just mentioned, here's what made me say, you know what? Fuck it. This is my game of the year so far. And it may be controversial for my PC players out there. But I just realized the crossplay for PvP, and just PvP, is only between consoles. That's right, PlayStation and Xbox only. As a console player, for right now, I mean, I would love to get a PC in the future, but as a console player, this is something I've been waiting for other games to do for a long time, and man, do I appreciate this. Now, PC players might get out their torches and start hunting for me here, but I feel like PC players have always had a clear advantage over console players in competitive games. A lot of games on console are struggling to hit 60 frames per second. Meanwhile, PC frames are uncapped. This is facts. And another reason why I stand behind this is because of cheaters on PC too. They be running wild. I know y'all be seeing the videos, they be going crazy. I see a lot of PC players act like they have zero advantages over console players, and I just don't get that when they clearly do. So that's my take on it. I appreciate what Focus Entertainment did with this one. More games need to adopt this and give us the option to enable this. At least give us the option. You know what I mean? Halo Infinite forces crossplay with PC. Call of Duty forces crossplay with PC. Why? So many other games too. That's crazy. And people say, oh, it's because of matchmaking times. You'll get matches faster. I think it's bullshit. Because before crossplay was even a thing, we was all finding matches just fine. Now I've been seeing some PC players complain because they want to play Eternal War with their console buddies, but can't. And I get that. That does suck for them. But I'm all about fairness, man, when it comes to any player versus player game mode in any game. And console is not on a level playing field with PC. It's just not. Now, if you want the option to play with PC players, that's cool. They can make that an option too. But I really felt like they thought of everything when they made that decision. And I've been enjoying the PvP a lot. So much so that a montage is on the way. I'm getting back in my montage bag for this one. For sure. I've been going crazy. My only complaint is that I wish they had more maps. But I think it's coming. I think they're coming with some more content. They got a roadmap. So let's take a look at the roadmap. Okay, so here's the roadmap. And it's already addressed any complaints I may have had about this game, which is pretty much just more PvE content and PvP content. And you can see in Season 1, we're getting the Battle Barge Sparring Arena. I don't know what that is, but I'm wondering if that's a private match. We could set up private matches for PvP. I'm not sure. I hope so. That would be cool. Season 2, we have a new PvE mission. So right there, boom, more PvE content. New PvE mission and new difficulty, higher difficulty. That looks crazy. And some type of new weapon, cool. Season 3 is a juicy one. Another new PvE mission, a new PvP game mode, new PvP maps. Boom. Another complaint right there, out the way. More PvP content. New enemies, PvE prestige. I mean, come on, man. They cooking, man. They cooking. And last but not least, we're getting a Horde mode in Season 4. Another PvE mode, a Horde mode. Can't wait for that, because I love Horde modes. Especially for a game like this, it's going to go crazy. So any complaints I had have already been addressed in this roadmap. You know, I just need to shut up and let them cook at this point. Can't wait for all that stuff. It's going to be lit. So that's going to be it, man. If I had to rate this game I'd give it a 10. Honestly, I give it a 10, man. I have very little bad things. Like, I can't really think of anything really bad to say about it. I can't. It's delivered for me. And I appreciate how much passion they put into it and how they put the players first. It shows. If you haven't tried it or you're on the fence, I'd give it a try. I don't think you'd be disappointed, especially with all the other stuff coming too in that roadmap we just saw. Money well spent, in my gaming opinion. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do y'all like it? What do y'all rate it? Are you going to try it? Let me know, man. Until then, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.